Looking for 15.
It's 15 if you count the baby.
There he is. Alright, you guys will have 25 minutes for today. And in the night. Rolo, you die. David, you die. David again.
Damn it, I already had a town read on David and he fucking dies.
That's OGI right there.
I'm actually really happy about those kills. Those are two people I often read wrong.
How did
David and Rolo?
Vicky, how did you read Rolo wrong?
I don't know, dude. Lately, I've been calling him Mafia like just every game, and it's like he's town a lot.
I don't know, like early on maybe.
So you're doing the classic rain down upon approach, Siggy? Just keep calling him Mafia until he gets frustrated with you
Well,
and then down read?
No, it's like I'm actually just kind of reading him Mafia, like, and I'm just wrong.
Segi, I don't think me and you should read each other this game. I don't think it's been much
I wonder how long I can last until Guy calls me Mafia. This will be a fun game.
I think Ryan's Mafia trying to say that, so we seem like partners.
So we seem like partners?
5, you're close, but Guy kills, not me.
That's an interesting concept.
Do you have a read on your baby?
After our game yesterday,
My baby's Mafia. You guys should lynch her and then leave me alive.
We will try.
She did this like
I don't know
wave
if
thing
she'll
with
get
the
the
tie and
votes.
pocket all of you, so don't worry about it.
I would say this, by the way.
I'm
If
kind of
anybody
talking
says
about
I would make kills, I would. Like, I would make any kill. But I think I think it's more like if there's certain kills
Would you kill Duke's baby?
By the way,
weren't you the one that was just telling me it's lame to talk about like night kills?
Yeah.
And clear your
I just
kills?
want to say,
What I'm
I want to
saying-
say this as well. I've seen Ryuzilla kill Rolo like 5 times in the past. Like almost every time Rolo dies, I feel like Ryuzilla's done it.
He was Mafia with Rolo, so I wanted to see if he was going to put the meter back on.
I think Ryuzilla feels like that's like a high equity kill. That's never a medic save.
I agree, but I think that the David kill doesn't look like me.
Dude, is
Who
that
died,
your
who
reader's
died
baby?
with Guy last week?
You know what the beautiful part is?
Me.
Jan
Jan didn't die.
I got town clip. I've run 4 guy dying, which was kind of fun.
And then the next
which was
night
the
on
opposite
Poke Stream,
effect of
Joey,
what
guy
Ryan
killed
wanted.
Rolo.
Yeah, that was a funny thing.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're on Stone.
I agree, 5. Oh man, that's a
Wanted to
good
get
read, 5.
Ryuzilla for the honey pot. I thought I was coming
Who does
into the
David
game
die?
potting, and then it turns out I'm a
That wasn't my reason.
Why would?
What's your reason?
You're so jovial. Like I don't know, Ryan. I find it hard for you to be able to take that as Mafia, the games I've seen.
I'm in a fairly good mood right now. Or whatever.
Okay, I have a couple of reads.
I didn't really like that.
I can't already.
Again.
Couple of reads.
Fairly boring,
One,
right?
I think Pat is town for bad reasons.
Yeah, that's all right. Everybody can read me town for that reason.
thought
That's
Pat got
okay.
18.
We'll
Is it
let
because
it
you
ride.
turned his camera on so late?
We'll let it ride for
That's
like
like
a couple days. So like, just don't ever lynch me for like a few.
All right, Pat's response is hella awkward. Remove his town read. I think Siggy has
Wouldn't it be
possible
great,
Mafia
though, if
equity.
I actually like just intentionally left my camera off?
He's
as
talking
Mafia?
way more. His activity level is way higher than usual.
I think, interesting enough, I would ram the scam for exactly
I kind of like his activity.
I think that's I don't know how I feel about that read from Ryuzilla.
like Ramsey compared to the first last.
I think
2
his
weeks, where he
response
was
about the
just
David
like,
thing was like pretty good though.
A fountain of activity, like especially early on, like last week with like Pope and Joey and what?
Did I play last week?
I've already
Was
talked
that
with
night?
Joey
Oh, no,
and I've already
that night.
talked with Guy, and I
Yeah,
talked
that
yeah,
night?
but,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah, it was
I'm 4 minutes into the day, bro. Like, come on.
it's more a quantity thing that you couldn't stop yourself the last 2 weeks. Like actually, like talking all day, like early on.
What do you think about
I think
that?
Rams is okay.
I don't play the same every game, you know.
Right,
that.
Ryuzilla,
Facial reactions have been pretty
I
interesting
disagree
so
with
far.
that.
She hasn't said a word.
Whoa, hey.
When I was Mafia with Pat last time, Pat was mouse flipping.
I always mouse flip. You like that? You don't.
Yeah, it's not a read. It's not a read, Ryan.
I'm
Don't
trying so
read
hard
it.
not to tunnel right now.
No, I wasn't gonna read into it. I wanted to see what you
5,
thought.
who are you asking?
Oh, you wanted to give
Yeah,
Ryu
Swansea
a
with the
chance
body
to fuck up. That's actually pretty sound, Ryan.
She didn't respond essentially.
That's interesting.
She doesn't know.
You just gave
She
me
doesn't
a
know
town
yet.
read
I
for
thought
something.
shrugs were pretty clear.
No, I only
For
like
something
yes
what?
or no.
I didn't actually say that. You just gave me a town read for something you think I did.
What did you say? What did you think I said?
Well, no, you explained my thought process and then read me town for it. Whereas I
pretty
didn't
sure we
actually
should
say
lynch
that was my
Pat.
thought process, but it's fine.
Oh, that's not what you meant.
You can
Right.
just call me town if you want.
Right, Ryan.
I
was
do
it
think
the
that
actual
it
process?
sounded town if that's what you were doing, but
Alright. That's good.
Yeah, I know you're just starting to scare me for 2 reasons. That's like strike 2, right? Last all.
Okay.
Guys,
who said they
can
wanted
we,
it
can we
lynched?
answer? Can we answer the important questions
It
here?
was Guy that said
does
that.
this game count for stats?
Guy?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. Full
I
stat.
love you, Guy,
Like,
but
shouldn't the important
town this
stats
game.
be other stats?
Well,
I
I
don't believe you,
mean,
Pat.
here's
mean-
the here.
Oh,
Okay,
come
here's
on.
the
This
here's
is
the.
the
if I left my
Here's the
camera
only
off
thing.
as Mafia,
Here's-
I'm
This
just
is not,
a god
this is not
anyway.
biased by.
The only thing I think
is a
right
pure
now is
Mafia
that
game
the
right
only
here.
thing that I
This
think
is-
right now, the only thing I think
I
right
thought
now
it's
is-
off season
the
right
only
now.
thing that I think right now is that Siggy's Mafia because he's talking
I
a lot,
agree.
but-
I agree.
But he's also like, it's like not so much that he's talking a lot, but that it sounds nervous too. Like when you're trying to like be active as Mafia,
I feel
but like you're also
I'm not nervous
about
at all right now.
Okay,
I
well
feel
you're
so
lying
awkwardly.
too. So
Joey's
Mafia.
Mafia. I'm calling it right now. Joey's Mafia.
Guy, I want to let you know I only have red grapes this game.
Kron said Joey's Mafia?
Yeah, I think.
Don't worry,
Joey's
dude.
Mafia.
Always you wonder, Ryan.
Everybody that
Do you
reads
disagree
Joey
with any of my
Mafia
content so far, Joey?
I haven't really listened to it.
I figured.
I'm putting Joey in my allies category. I'm not giving him a town read, but he is one of my.
No,
He's an ally at the moment.
We're gonna lynch an ally.
You're saying that he's your ally, but that makes that he's either Mafia side.
We're seeing the game in the same way, but I don't have a read on Joey.
That's
shocking.
That's pretty shitty.
But both of you are seeing me as Mafia, so it's a bad way to read the game.
Has 5 vocally town read Ramsey yet? Because Ramsey.
Not yet.
Yeah,
I don't think 5 is
I
said
know,
much other
Ramsey
than
town
actually
read Mafia last time, so.
which is not.
I'm down reading Ramza, but I don't want to say it.
He was town, that's right. Fuck
I'm
that game.
down reading Ramza, but I don't want to say it because it got me Mafia Red last game.
Dude, that game. Fuck you for that game, by the way. guy.
Let's not
Dude,
slow.
what can I do? I'm sorry. Like,
Why is that a thing that 5 always reads you correctly or always tell
no,
me?
it's just like
No, so
the
last
time I
game,
played with him,
guy got different chat.
Ramsey instantly because
And a
Ramsey
focal part of the
I also now slightly read 5 Mafia because I don't think that's a usual town process.
Oh,
thought.
that's horseshit.
Let me give my horseshit read. I don't think that 5.
Stop. If I can give your read for you, will I get a town read?
He
No,
already
but
gave
go
half the
ahead.
read. Like everybody knows what the read is.
I know what the read is.
Okay. Doesn't even need to finish it. We all know what it is.
Finish it because we all know
Need
it.
credit, okay?
But it's the horseshit read anyway.
What a conundrum.
I think Ryu's Mafia for that read.
Okay.
Says the guy who literally is trying to get town cred for turning his camera on late. Get the fuck
No,
out of here.
I wasn't. That's honestly not what it was. But that's I just wasn't.
Quote,
I
wouldn't it
was
be
on
so
mute.
sick if that's
I thought I
Mafia?
was on
I left
awesome.
my camera off. Unquote.
Well, I mean, he wants to read me for bad reasons like that. That's fine. But like the first person to bring
nothing
that
to
up,
do with why
the
I'm
first
on.
bring that up
I don't really
was
like any
like
Pat's responses.
trying to get a free.
Pat,
count.
let me give you a secret. There's no good reasons on day 1. There's no good reasons. They're all bad reasons.
That's not necessarily true. You can have a good
Before we
reason
hear
on
from
day
Ponty
1.
Pope, why'd you feel
Not that not many people have them, but sure, you can have them.
Like that's all that you said, and then you got cut off and kind of shut down. And you haven't
Honestly,
said-
though, the first person to say specifically about that, like,
That's
like
just
I have
talking
bad
too
reasons.
much.
Everybody's gonna think that in their
Yeah,
head.
it's talking
so,
too
like,
much
if
to
you're
be
trying to
town.
vocalize
I
that,
agree.
you get town credit.
No,
Yeah.
stop. Pat's town. He just needs
No,
to
he
shut
doesn't
the
talk as
fuck
much
up.
when he's down. He only talks as much when he's Mafia and he has to explain himself.
Really?
Oh, Guy,
Yes.
I love you.
I don't think I've seen it as Mafia once. I
There,
didn't do that.
There's only a few town. The few town are like Siggy.
No, dude, what?
Why do you always town read Siggy?
No, okay, no. He town reads me. He towns me on games where everyone is
How many
scum
games have
reading
we
me.
lost where you just town read Siggy for no reason?
Right or die with
in
smoke.
the bro chat.
Right or
He's
die.
not actually, but
I'm not in the bro chat.
so I think towns like Siggy, Pat, Ryu, and then very
Those are 2 of my
light
scum reads.
on Jan. I think Jan's response whenever people were talking about his body language and
What's your Pat read?
Did you comment? I think it was okay. I read Pat kind of off demeanor whenever he was making the joke about town read me for a few days. I don't know if he would do that as Mafia, but the way he presented it felt towny. I think that there's a lot of null, but I think if we're looking, usually I try to go PoE off of town. That's what I've been doing lately, but it's not working this game because there's not that many town. So I think right now the scummy person is like Duke, maybe Guy.
I don't think.
You have a
Duke's
read on
gonna
Ramza?
mess
Say
about it.
Joey.
Joey, yeah, that's.
I
what
don't
want
want to. No, I feel like
Why not Ryan
I'm
Pope?
gonna be a bit egotistical, but I think I have an okay read on Joey, not like a
based on
great
Joey
read.
and Ryu
And I don't think
Grande,
he's
he
been
lean
scummy.
more
I don't
towards-
think he's been towny.
He has lacked a lot of town stuff this game.
Okay, so just because someone's lacking town stuff doesn't make
So
them
he's
Mafia.
Mafia.
Pope, do you have a read on Ramza?
That doesn't-
5. Do you think Pop is town?
No.
I think
It's
you're
just like
not
brutal how
getting
retarded you are,
I don't
Con,
have
but that's
a
okay,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, when we see 1 KP when we lynch you today. we'll see what we're doing.
Kron, what is Joey Town stuff?
I like Pope's town circle though.
He
Just
actually
give me
saw. I'm doing shit.
So I want to say,
He just interjected.
The other town read on Pat that's different from Pope's.
so
What do you want
Kron,
from me, bro?
Stems off of
Kron,
Ryan.
Ride or Died, Pope, right
just
after
think-
only
okay.
the Siggy read.
Okay.
Like that's what is that? Like there's so
Ride or
much
die,
weird.
Pope?
Kron, only after one read. After one read,
Okay,
he Ride or
listen, I
Died.
don't want to
Like,
push
I
too
was
much
like
for
the
this,
third
but
of the day.
whenever Kron goes after me, day 1, he's always Mafia.
I'm
Why
like,
do I go after you day 1? That's factual.
Every time you're Mafia, that's all I'm
No,
saying.
I'm not.
I'm not even calling you Mafia. I'm just saying every single time you are, you do.
That's wrong. That's
Oh
wrong.
no, it's right. It's right.
There's a
I'm
lot
taking
of-
note of it.
Why would I
A
go after
lot
you
of
day
hot
1?
air.
I don't
like-
know. That's
I'm
why I
like
took note of it. Because why the
I'm
fuck
like
did you do
80%
that?
of the game so
So if I have a
far.
I
question.
don't do it though.
So
You
in our
do.
last like 3
It's
games around
okay.
town, you've been like not town ready
Maybe
at all. Why are you
you
town
don't
ready
realize
this
it,
game?
Kron.
I don't think
Kron, maybe you
Me.
don't realize it, but
You
I'm telling
talking
you,
to
I'm
me?
not lying.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm town, you go after me when you're
Joey
Mafia.
and Kron, dude, chill.
Show me a
Okay,
link.
What's your question?
So
Am I
the last
town-
like 3 games is town. I feel like I've been more towny than I was this game, but you never town read me those games. You were always like kind of suspicious, and you said things like, "I just respect your Mafia play too much." But this game, you're like town reading me, and it feels like out of
Yeah,
place.
it was primarily for your reaction whenever Joey said you were nervous and you responded
It's
saying,
a
"I'm
bad
actually not nervous at all." I thought that felt pretty genuine.
I really
Us-
think listen.
But you
I'm
said
not
that a million
like I
times.
have no plans of formaling, but like I think
I feel
Guy
like
is
you said
pretty
that.
Mafia this game.
Who's pretty
I'm
Mafia, Joey?
I was about to give you an 87% town read, Joey.
I know, but I think you're actually Mafia.
Yeah.
But it's like very weak, and it's mostly.
All right, I'm off the Siggy scum read.
It also has to deal with the David kill. I think that's what makes you Mafia guy. I think you would be.
I was surprised you didn't
more
bring that up.
inclined.
Like,
Right.
earlier.
Because
That was
of
actually
Pop,
part of
because
why
of
it's
second.
dumb.
Ryu, what happened to change your
Well,
mind?
I did bring it up whenever 5 called me Mafia, and I said Guy made those night kills.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
Is he town now or is he just no?
I think
No,
Pope's,
no.
like reasonably towny.
Alright.
That I don't know. That I really like that question from Jan, and Ryu's response was miserable.
Yeah, let's push on Ryuzilla more.
I don't want to
Let's keep
Ryuzilla and
pushing on
Joey.
him.
That's where I like, and the fact that they both went on Siggy Wiggy makes Siggy like
I
almost.
feel like I should openly admit I don't have a good grasp on the game. So if I die and then I'm trying to,
Don't give a fuck about your.
yeah,
Like I always
out the
do.
window,
Okay,
yeah.
so Siggy,
I
Ryu,
actually really liked Pope
lockdown,
until he said
Pope.
just that. Like that's
Oh
not
yeah,
something
dude, that
Tom
was
Pope
so
would
scummy
say.
of him. Can I
Yeah.
hear Pontia though?
Alright. Pat read.
I am
Fonty
very
thinks.
confident that Ramza is town.
Me too.
I'm-
I actually.
I am very confident that Joey is town.
I'm pretty
Actually,
confident
probably
Ramza's
more than I
town.
normally am. Those are like probably my top 2 town at the moment.
Why do you read Ramza town guy?
This is just like
Basically-
fucking last week, dude. I'm having flashbacks.
I just feel like it's his town game. I don't know. I feel like I think historically I've had a good read on Ramza, and it's just a gut feel, to be honest.
What the fuck has Ramza done this game that makes
I
it?
want to hear
That's
Duke's
the
reads.
point.
Fonty wants to go.
I don't know. I think it's playing a lot more polarized.
Stop talking. Your name's not Duke.
My top wishes right now would be like Pat,
Spent a lot of
and,
combos.
like,
Town
Town or
Fonty.
Kron, Ryu.
That's fine. Go
Let's
Fonty.
hear from Fonty.
Let's hear
Slightly
from Fonty.
Pope.
Let's hear from Fonty.
Dude, me and Fonty think the exact
I
same
would
thing.
want to lynch.
At the same time, holy shit.
I'd probably want to lynch 5, Pat.
No, we're not lynching 5 or Pat. Jesus, I think that Ryuzilla is really town. I think Kron's really town. I actually think 5 is really pretty town. Like, I could go back on that, but whatever. Ryan was really town when he spoke right there. I really liked Pope when he spoke up. I don't know about Pat's meta, but, like, I wouldn't want to lynch him today, and I think Joey's pretty town, and that is my stance, and I wouldn't want to lynch John today. So, like, I'm looking at Ramza, Siggy, Guy. Yes.
It's like terrible.
Never lynching Fonzie.
I think like guys.
So
okay.
I think my town
His
right
town
now.
circle
My
is, like,
town right
almost
now.
eight.
Oh, and Duke. I'm looking at Duke, too.
Ah, okay, I was about to ask you about Duke.
Yeah,
My
I see it.
Did you hear what Duke was just said?
Well,
while
I
you were
couldn't hear
talking
what you
about
said,
it?
Duke. So if you want to repeat
I have
it,
no.
what you
Okay.
said.
I'm not going to be able to read Duke from his reads.
Yeah, my
Man,
read.
I'll go
my
against
reads
you,
again
Ryan.
are-
Go
Can I
ahead.
give him again?
Yeah.
I didn't hear him last
I
time.
haven't even given them once.
Oh, I gave them, and then Fonty said, I don't give a fuck, and then kept talking, so I just let her talk, right? I think Ryu, Kron, Siggy are the town, slight town read on Pope, and
Ron.
5.
Yeah.
and Pat.
Can you go
Me and
deep into
Con-
your con
You
read?
want to lynch me, Duke?
So I did this thing, this joke with Like people probably I got perfect info. People probably didn't hear it because everyone was talking, but I did this like joke where I said like Ori pointed to the screen, and then I pointed at Kron, and Kron had a really natural reaction back to me where I was like, was that your read or the baby's read? And like I don't know, it felt super towny. So no one probably even noticed it, so whatever.
I didn't see
I like that read. I like that read.
I don't like that read.
5, okay, so 5 is Mafia does like when I see, and maybe I'm just misreading 5, but he does this thing where he doesn't really like take a hard opinion, but he just soft defends everybody. So I don't know who 5 wants to lynch, but I know that someone said they wanted to look at me. 5 said I don't really want to like that. And then someone said something about Ramza, and I heard him soft defend him. So it just seems like, and maybe I'm just.
I don't like your reads, Duke.
That's fine. You don't gotta like my reads. I don't.
Right.
I think
Really quickly, I'm just gonna give a quick
I'm pretty sure I vocalized multiple things.
Kron, Jan, Fonty, light rate on Ryan. I was really high on Pope until he said that thing about don't trust my reads. Before that, I would have said he's Town.
Why does that make a Mafia?
It just doesn't sound like something a Town Pope would say. Like, I don't think that he would say that. If he doesn't really need to clarify whether he thinks his reads are strong or not, in my opinion.
Well,
and then I think that Ziggy is probably Town. I don't know. You're fine for today, but I said leaning back to neutral for that. I really don't like the way Ryuzilla responded to Jan's question about why he flipped on Siggy. From that point, he just like literally did like the shoulder shrug, didn't really get a chance. I'd love for him to clarify that if he has a second. Joey, he hasn't really given a chance to give him his reads yet. Usually when he doesn't
done anything
contribute to Town,
Exactly.
and his reaction to Kron calling him out early was a bit.
Garbo is the word.
Right, are you the Vigi?
Oh man, you're tilting me.
I have a question. All right, I have a question for the group. Is Joey more likely to want this to not count for stats if he's Mafia or if he's Town?
That's a great question.
I think Town, honestly.
I think Town because he has less power as Town.
That's why I'm Town reading Joey. Anyway.
Does he have better percentages as Mafia or
I was just saying it as a joke.
That's actually a great read.
If you want to Town read me,
I think that's low-key a fire read.
Good job. Sometimes lucky, baby rage.
It was like a joke, like as if because it's been asked. He's done it like multiple days.
Here's my Town reads right now. My Town reads are like Fonty, Ramza, Duke, and then probably Ryan.
Why Duke?
I actually think when he was giving that read on Kron, like it doesn't matter how bad it is. The fact of the matter is that he believed it. Like, legitimately.
He really didn't.
I have a question for Joey.
Like legitimately believed it.
Joey, given that I'm such an incredibly polarized player, can you take a hard stance on me?
I said you're probably Town, but like you honestly haven't given enough content. I usually wait for you to say something that you can't.
I have
say
a few
Mafia.
Updated reads.
I didn't give my. Can I just give you my Mafia really quick?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have any stronger Mafia, but like it'd probably be somewhere in like Kron, Pat, Siggy, Guy.
Updated reads. So I'm gonna move Pat to Town because I don't think Pat has the balls to go against me as Mafia. I'm gonna move Fonty to Town for the Joey read. And
that shit in the trash.
I have moved Siggy to Null. I'm still unsure, but I'm not scummy on him like I was.
Explain why. Answer Jan's question.
So to answer Jan's question, it's basically just like his response to Pope, and the reason, like every time Siggy's not speaking, his body language to me feels scummy. Every time he is speaking, it feels good. So like that's how I feel. I'm like conflicted on Siggy. I immediately felt Mafia. It's just like back and forth.
Read me out body language.
Well, that's how I won Final 3 with you like a few weeks ago. So
right, so you read Funny Town because of what she said about stats and Joey. That's the reason.
Yeah.
All right, I don't think you should have put anything into that. But
I don't think it's a great read, but I don't think that Mafia are looking to clear people for stupid reasons.
You have like 4 towns and 1 ally.
She didn't actually even clear him. She said, "Is he more likely to be Mafia?" Like it's sort of wishy-washy as well.
And then she goes, "I think Town." She offered that opinion first.
And she explained her reason why.
Right. She was the first one to say Town. She didn't wait for people to respond.
All right, maybe.
I want to say like Kron hasn't. I feel like Kron's done nothing this game but push on Joey. And that's like a real read. Like I think that Kron's done absolutely nothing this game besides just push on Joey. Yeah, but you at least you set a Town circle, which is more than Kron's done, right? And I think I also think Duke's reads were like not Town Duke reads. They were Mafia Duke reads. 100%. I think Duke is like very Mafia.
I can't help my reads are
100%. Why is Kron getting a scum read for doing nothing besides push on Joey when all Ryan has done is ask like softball questions to Ryu?
Yeah, I agree. I don't really have a town read on Ryan.
I form a 5.
And Pat and
Second Siggy.
Second 5.
I seconded Siggy first, unless it didn't get picked
Form
up.
on Siggy, accusation, please.
Oh?
You feel really Mafia, and I want you to talk. Go.
Okay, well, I don't really have too much content.
seconded?
I kind of like what Pope said.
I thought the second was on fire.
I kind of, it's not like,
Joey,
I have a feeling that he knows that I like
I don't
Honest a
know if I
lot, so I
didn't
feel
see
like as
my mic
Mafia,
pick
he
it
would
up,
try and
but I
pocket
said
me
6
by
and
saying
6,
I was
that's why,
town. But then, like, I talked to him about it and asked him all the
bullied
reasons.
the
I'm
mob.
like, his reasoning makes sense because he town-read me for something similar to that, like, a few games back. I think Rams has just kind of been, like, super natural and quick with his responses, and that's why I'm reading him town. I haven't listened to any of his content or anything he said. I just gave my Kron and Duke reads. I think I agree. Ryan hasn't really done much either this game. And I actually I think he's like, yeah, I think he could be Mafia as well. I think like the way he was like trolling early was kind of more Mafia indicative for his play too. I think Guy hasn't had good responses when everyone's called him Mafia. I think that like, I don't have a read on 5. I think Pat's like pretty Mafia. He's like given bad reads and then tried to substantiate them in like poor ways. I think like, I think Ryuzilla's town. I think like Joey's probably town pushing on me, but I'm not like super. I don't feel great about that read. I'm mostly just reading him town just because I'm reading Kron kind of scummy. I think that like Jan was pretty jovial at the beginning of the day, but then hasn't done too much since then. I think that's probably more town Jan.
Fonte,
That's like all my reads on everyone. I don't have a read on Fonte. That's like my reads on every single person in the game.
Can we just resend and go on another?
No,
Pat, your reads like, okay,
Really?
specifically like, I think your Pope read was the hot garbage. I think what Pope
anyways.
said, he says more as town than as Mafia when he said that, don't trust my reads if I die in the night. I also think like, yeah.
You explained that like you
There was
thought my
something
reads
else
were
to
bad, but could you elaborate on why?
It's
my
not,
reads were bad?
okay, I think that like your Kron town read was something that you do as Mafia where it's like, I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's a spew or if he's your partner, but it just doesn't seem like the kind of read you would have as town where you're actually evaluating his alignment. It feels like you're just calling him an alignment and then like banging up a reason afterwards.
Did you disagree with any of the other reads I had?
I don't remember the rest of your reads. I just kind of honed in onto that read because that's the
Do you
one.
remember his 5 read by chance?
Did he call 5 town for something similar?
He had an interesting comment about 5. It was kind of awkward.
Did he called 5? Like he called 5 Mafia. I don't remember.
I called 5 Mafia because I didn't think he was actually.
That's like pretty much all my reads and like my opinion on everyone's alignment in the game. If you guys have any questions, I will answer any questions. I think Ryuzilla, I think the way you read me out body language, by the way, in Final 3, I'm obviously going to be a lot more animated than I am on a day 1.
Yeah, the read is off of Final 3. My day 1 reads are when somebody runs out of content 2 minutes into a formal. That's pretty bad.
I don't think I've ever.
Okay, who played with me in the beginning when every single formal I gave as town was exactly like a minute or a minute and a half, right? That was literally my town meta, Ryuzilla.
He talks quickly. It's not like.
And
I
then
would
it ended up becoming better, and eventually I was able to make it last 2 minutes, then 2.5, then sometimes 3 minutes. But like this game is like I was like that was all the content I had.
It happens to everybody sometimes.
I don't think you'll be able to last the amount of content I have just because
Eventually you'll be able to
quickly is bad, Ryuzilla. Especially when my time meta for a while as Mafia, my meta would be that I would give 4-minute formals, and that's how people would.
Just don't think about it.
Look,
Just keep going.
I'm conflicted on your Siggy. I don't know what to do.
No, I'm town. I think you know I'm town after that last.
Get in the bed, Ryan.
That joke though was great.
I think you know I'm down.
What is your question, Ramzo?
Can you refresh what you said about Jan and Guy if you said anything about the two of
Yeah,
them?
I think I didn't like people called Guy Mafia, and I didn't really like his responses to it. But I don't think he's like said anything I've hated. And I think like Jan, the way like Jan started the game off jovially, but then like having to give him much content is like more in line with this gameplay I've seen. But I hate meta reads like that, so it's like I'd probably reevaluate on him.
So fence and light town, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, no, Guy's like leaning Mafia. I'd say Guy's leaning Mafia.
And then Ryan?
I think like I didn't like Ryan's trolling early. I don't think like I've heard any of his actual reads. Like he could be Mafia.
We should stop reading each other.
I agree
I'm
because we
probably
never
just
do
gonna-
it right.
I'm just gonna vote on you and just hope you're Mafia, probably.
Shut up.
Did you read Fonte, Siggy?
This maximum formal has been pushed about Siggy.
I don't really have an idea on Fonte. I'm town. I hope that formal made obvious. I'm town. Don't vote. Keep your hands down.
If you would like to vote on Siggy Wiggy, please raise your hand to the camera and leave it there. In 3, 2, 1, vote.
Jesus Christ.
6 votes is not enough.
I would love a cop check on
That's actually
me.
a pretty good vote.
That's an interesting vote.
Hey, actually, wow, that is actually very, very interesting.
Ryuzilla, what part of my photo made you think I was Mafia?
That legit could have had just
Guy
three
Ryan-
Well, looking
Like,
at the people who
honestly,
voted, there's a scummy
If you
group
told
in
me
there.
the team, if you told me the team,
You're such an asshole, Ryuzilla.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to think about you, bro. Like,
Okay.
So
Ryan,
it's interesting
Guy,
that
the team, if you told me the team was Scryan, Guy, Pat, like
Yeah,
I'd be like,
almost
that makes sense.
So
I
here's the
second
thing
Ryan.
about
There's a full-on
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're just Mafia. You haven't actually done anything. I just listened to you ask Ryan a question that had like no real thought to it. You like interjected after he made a statement just to want to sound like you were paying attention. You haven't done anything else. You made the red grape comment to Guy, which for all I know could be your partner, so it's not even like entertaining. But
All right.
who seconded?
Yeah, that's interesting.
tell me if you want to actually like make any kind of impression. Tell me what you deduced from asking Ryuzilla the question you asked.
Because I wanted to know, like, what if he was reading Fonty Town for like a good reason? Because I think that's like a bad reason to read a town. And
Yeah, it's almost like she might be your partner, and you're just like, dude, you shouldn't town read her.
Ryan, can I just ask?
Amazing. You're also saying I'm partners with Guy because of a red grape thing, which is just a joke, and he's the only person I remember who was in the game, and I have grapes against. Like,
I was in that game.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I was in that game too. That's why.
All right, yeah, I don't remember who it was. What is it, Ryzo?
You guys aren't
Just
memorable.
a general game question. What type of reads do you think
Like
are
his
good
jokes.
reads on day one?
None.
Reads.
It's okay to just give random reads and stuff like that.
So then why are you giving me shit for giving bad reads?
I wasn't giving you shit. I just wanted to clarify because maybe you had a different reason and I was mistaken on why you read her town. Because you said I read town, funny town for what she just said about Joey, and I'm like maybe I missed something that like she actually said was towny. I didn't get a read on Fonty when she spoke, so that's why I wanted to like try and help. Because I read you right, Ryza, I read you town.
Oh man, dude.
Like
the
I'm
cop
thinking
check on me tomorrow is gonna be
your reads are like more believable. Like I can trust it. 5 Up. Why did you initially call me Mafia? Because like you did.
At the beginning of the game, you were just smiling, sitting there, and you made one awkward comment about Pat, like, "Oh, I thought you died Night Zero." But that was Mafia.
Oh yeah. Well, that was like a genuine thing. I thought it was Rolo Pat. I don't know. I think it's easy to get Pat and David mixed up maybe if you're not like paying attention.
That's a fucking
Ramza, I want to go into reads, but what do you want to ask Ramza?
No, go. You can go to your reads first. Just come back to me when you're done.
My general like town is something like Guy, Pope, Ryuzilla, light on Ramza, but like not really. That's more like a sheep read. I think Duke was town for similar reason, like Joey said, but like I feel like Joey was reading him much more town than I was. It was based. Joey was reading him town based off of like what he said about Kron, and like I agree with it, but I don't strongly agree with it the way I feel like he does. I think Siggy leans town for me, but in the past few games, like I've lost to him when he's Mafia, and like I feel like I generally read him town, and I just don't read him Mafia. Like I either read him null or town. So like I think I'm just gonna like vote on him more often. I think he should probably like stop reading.
If Siggy is town for
you more often.
If Siggy is town for you, who's the most likely Mafia voting on him? You already read Ryu,
Ryan.
Guy.
You'll die every game in Final Town, read you Ryan.
Like
It would be like
Pat and Fonty can be easy Mafia here. I don't know if there like wasn't a hammer or not. Like it's possible. Like someone said that I can easily find free Mafia and that it's possible no Mafia voted. Like we have no information yet. Like whatever. It's just based off of reads. I think Siggy gave good enough formal that Mafia might have been scared enough to not vote. Yeah. Most other people that I haven't talked about, like Jan and Kron, like I don't have a read on them. 5 hasn't done anything but push on me. It's kind of hard to like not Omgush read him. Yeah, I mainly read Pope. I'll go into my town reads. So I mainly read Pope Town for the comment about don't give any credit into my reads. Like if I die in the night, I like that's like double towny because it's like it's the stance he feels he's in the game is more like likely to be town, and the fact that he might die in the night, but that's like easier to say as Mafia. Ryuzilla, I think he's like made a lot of like good pushes. His read on Pat was quite interesting. He's been like a solid part of the game.
Did you give an opinion on Pat? I'm sorry. Did you?
I think he's possibly Mafia. Like he's been scummy. He's had a lot of weird things. When he gave me a town read, he like, gave me a town read that he made up.
Would you like to push to vote? Ryan, 10 seconds.
After I don't get lynched here, I think like Pat's a good formal. That's probably the formal we should go for.
If you would like to vote on Ryan, please
Maybe
raise your hand
someone
to the
now.
camera and leave it there in 3, 2, 1, vote. 8 votes is enough. Ryan has died. Please go to sleep some minute actions. Those who are dead can wake up and try to be entertaining. I'm all set to go. Thank you for everyone's patience. You can all wake up. Looking for 12. This is the correct number. You guys will have 22 minutes for today and in the night. Ramza, you died, Dave, again.
Can I get? I couldn't go back to Twitch and actually write down the votes. Can somebody give me the Scryan votes? Anybody's got the Scryan vote? Anyone?
Yeah, it's Ryuzilla, Pat, 5, Joey.
Wait, didn't
myself,
Ramza?
Jan.
What was the no votes?
The no
Ramza
votes
was a no
were
vote.
Kron, Duke, Ramza, and Siggy Wiggy.
Wow, that's fucking weird.
I'm gonna say there's a medic save.
Ramza, Siggy.
Kron, I want to hear. Okay, can you go in depth into your Joey Mafia read and give reads on other people? In
I'm
the
not
Zoom?
sure about that anymore. I'm thinking.
Okay. Okay, can you give in-depth reads on other people in the Zoom?
Yeah, I think you're
Joey
down.
Town for a namey bad reason.
You know, when I mean in-depth, I mean like.
Is there ever a good reason to read me town though?
Joey puts the fastest
I have no
Mafia
reason
field
for
in the
it.
West. That was fucking too long of an eye face for Joey.
I don't really.
We can,
like
by the way,
Dude,
everyone.
that's my
It
kind of
could have
reason.
been. It could have been the cop or the medic deciding about their night.
Oh, so you know there's a cop in the medic alive.
No, that's just the stupidest fucking thing to say.
I think a medic got saved last night.
Everyone, I'm fine lynching Duke now.
Alright, do you have a red check on Duke?
No, but his town shield is gone.
Oh, okay.
I don't have my.
Oh, the baby's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Also, I
Who were the no votes? It was
like
me,
I felt like
Big-
the way he talked to
Ron,
me, he
Duke,
would only
Ramza,
say that as
Siggy.
town.
You, Ramza, Duke, Siggy.
Okay.
My
I
reason
think
for
that
not
that
voting
is-
was because I thought the way he talked to me was like super towny, but
There's always a mafia that voted.
I think the no voters besides.
I mean,
Kron.
Is that true? Is
I-
that confirmed?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's always
Confirmed
mafia
from your
that voted.
Kron,
perspective.
yes, but Ramza died, so he has to be. But... So you're saying?
Guy,
Duke
why
is
am I
Siggy?
scum reading you?
He's never.
Kron's just saying that he's not Mafia.
guys,
Ryan's
guys
never
aren't like
was
pushing
Siggy,
anything.
though.
No,
Ryan
no,
is-
Fonty. If Ryan was Mafia, then
So there's like
then-
always a mafia
then-
partner that voted if he's mafia.
Yeah, no, so there are only 2 no votes, not counting Ramza.
No, that's
There's
four, right?
there's 3. I know. Right?
No, my bad, Duke. Sorry, I
Duke,
forgot.
Duke,
Never mind.
Yeah, there was 3 no.
That's what I'm saying.
I color coded it. It actually ended up confusing me. Anyway,
Did Kron explain why he thinks there's a medic save?
Can you explain why you didn't vote
I
yours?
think there's
Explain
always a
why
mafia.
you
Probably
can't.
because he thought Ryan.
It's not
was
worth
down.
talking about it at the moment.
No, but I want to know why.
do we have a
why did you
Vigi
think
right
Ryan
now?
was down?
Vigi claim? Or
Yeah,
no
why
There's
did
always
belief?
a mafia that voted.
I
What?
agree with this.
Ron, why did you think
Vigi
that
claim,
Ryan
do
was
we have
down?
one?
Never.
No one's
I-
Vigi. I'm the Vigi. No one's Vigi. Here you go.
Are you really?
No, I'm not the Vigi.
I'm counterclaiming.
Okay.
Scottish
Ryan,
Ryan.
why did you think that Scryan was
I didn't
down?
see any partners for Ryan.
Fonty, what is your check?
I thought his phone was actually all right. I think he was calling
How?
people out.
Everyone,
He was calling people
everyone
out,
refused.
like
No,
calling
that's
like
what
people
happened.
that were
Everyone
like
refused to give a
null
read on
and
Ryan.
dummy that like
Out of everyone I
didn't
asked, everyone
see
just
any
dodged the
partners of them. I
question.
actually thought you were Mafia Joey, and the way that you talked to Ryan and the way that Ryan spoke to you about you, I don't think that you guys were partners. That's why I didn't vote. I'm that convinced that you're Mafia, but now I'm not so sure.
Do you think there was a medic save? So
From my
wouldn't
perspective, I
Joey
think there's a
Joey
medic
being
save.
Mafia.
I think Joey could very well be Mafia, but I'm not sure yet. Here's my thought of why I think there's a medic save. So look at the no votes. It's Siggy Wiggy, me, Duke, and the guy who died last night, Ramza. Siggy, you can't put Siggy Wiggy and Ryan together. Ryan, the way that they've been talking to each other is never like two partners, and the way that Ryan talks about like, oh, I'm just gonna vote on you. I don't care.
He
I don't think
switched
he
his
would do that
read
to
on
his Mafia
Siggy.
partner.
Yeah, but
He
Kron.
switched his read on Siggy though.
But
So
Kron.
it's just
That
like
could be a
Duke and a
partner
partner.
thing.
That was
Kron,
actually one of
Ryan
the
did
main.
not-
That was actually one of the
Okay,
main
wait,
reasons.
okay.
I
It could be like a-
Shush.
it could be
But
partner.
Kron, Ryan
I
did
don't
not
think
give a
Siggy
good
is.
formal.
That's
Like,
actually-
I can see
yeah.
Mafia
Alright.
partners deciding to bust
The
there.
formal was very
Whoa,
bad.
newsflash! Sometimes towns give bad formals. All right.
Yeah.
It could be
No,
like a mafia
you don't
mafia
believe
interaction
that.
when they're like, if they're busting each other, and he keeps saying maybe we should just stop reading each other this game. Like it literally could be like,
No.
oh, we're actually.
I don't
making
think
each other
Ryan
the
would
two
do that.
dumbest
That's
people in the
really
game.
Guy,
funny
okay,
guy.
me and Ryan rolled Mafia together
I don't
for the
think Siggy's
first time
that
ever
Mafia.
last
Ryan,
night,
I
and it
don't
was
think
the most
Siggy's very
meatiest
Mafia
game.
either.
We had so much
I don't
fun. We
think they're- I don't
interacted
think they're-
nonstop.
Right, you said you
That
take
doesn't
Siggy,
minutes.
it's your
transfer to this
town. We should kill
possible.
Duke.
What was the order of the vote on Siggy?
I'm
what
scum
order
reading
did
Duke
people
sort
vote
of, but I'm thinking
You
I'm
think
scum
that's a
reading
hit
Pat
Fonty?
more.
They were all-
I
they were
hated
all
almost
pretty-
everything
I
Pat
think-
said.
I
No,
think
there
he
was
was
in the
reading-
middle
he was reading
section. There was later
Fonty.
votes.
And
you think
Pat
Mafia,
came out
which
today with that
was
bullshit
like the
that like
problem
we
with,
could be
I think,
partners for like
I'm like
awful reasoning.
60% sure
Fonty.
KP has been reduced. So.
No, what
I
I'm
don't
saying,
hate that
I'm saying
read,
that
to be
Siggy. I
honest.
disagree with what Kron was saying about how Siggy and Ryu could never be Mafia together based on the way that he
I
was.
think
Not
it's probably
Ryu,
unlikely.
with Ryan.
They're probably
It's not
not.
impossible, but it's like
Ryan.
highly unlikely.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
is
you were
pretty
talking about
unlikely.
his
Kron, I
reaction
think
with
you're
Ryu.
being bad town.
Can I get five?
Probably.
Like five? Can
I'm
you
not
get
good
like
at video
a
mafia anymore.
mostly full
Kron, were you
replay?
talking about Ryu
I feel
and Siggy or Ryan?
He was talking about Ryan. We've been over this.
Yeah.
Okay,
the dead guy.
Disregard.
Oh
what
yeah,
I
the
said.
vote on Ryuzilla. I remember it well.
No, he was.
So,
I thought he was talking about Ryu and Siggy's interaction on day one.
Whatever.
I
It doesn't.
keep hearing you try to talk
yeah,
to
no, five started with like a good amount of energy like early on yesterday, and then the total breakdown. Like, well, total breakdown is too much for me, but like it was a lot.
It was
less.
kind of like a scream.
All right, so
I think my most confident read is Ryuzilla Town.
And I really
well,
want
by proxy, then I want to bring in the Iron Crew. They're my strongest town right now in a crazy world.
Sorry, can I just ask really quick? Who voted on Siggy and then didn't vote on Scryan?
Duke.
Just Duke.
Literally just Duke. And the people who voted on Scryan but didn't vote on Siggy are Pat, Joey, 5, Jan, and Pope. Not Pat, sorry. Just Joey, 5, Jan, and Pope.
Pat did vote on both.
Not Pat. Pat voted on both, yeah.
And
I really need to color code this correctly.
My fundamental counter Fonty, Ryu, Stiggy, yourself, and Duke. Those are my main town.
Yeah, but a bit more.
I think I'm okay shipping the Fonty read Ryuzilla. I already kind of have.
I mean, you can say it's thin for Fonty, but the whole
I just
Joe
want to say,
thing
like,
about the
for
night kill,
if somehow
I don't think
like
he
I
does that.
die at some point, I'd be strongly wary of like assuming that we hit right here and just.
Wait. The Joey thing about the night kills? What the fuck are you talking
You
about?
said that was the stat list thing. I think you only say that as town.
That's not what I said.
I think it's actually like very close to a coin flip at this point on whether KP was reduced or double stat per se.
I don't really care about the details.
Like, I'm more so saying that because I think if you start assuming that it's 1 KP and that Ryan's a hit, that the game will probably be lost.
I agree.
I'm kind of in the same mindset as Joey. I'm having a tough time determining what I think about the kill. But whenever I looked at the Siggy vote primarily, I thought the no voters were very scummy.
Really?
Yeah.
I had
no, I'm sorry. Yeah, the opposite thought. I thought the voters were very scummy.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
That, so that makes
I thought the no voters were very towny.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. Right. So that makes it difficult because the people that there's a lot of cross voters, right, that vote on both.
Not really. I think a huge chunk of town went from not voting on Siggy to voting on Ryan. And that's how he died.
The people I'm referencing that I don't both. Yeah, the people I'm referencing that I'm not sure on are Guy and Pat primarily. I think you both played kind of different. Maybe I'm just having a hard time getting a town read. So when you vote on both, it makes me. Yeah, until you gave that retarded read on me about me being a Mafia for saying the thing about
neutral.
when I died.
I said you were more neutral for that.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. It's not like a town mindset to say that was.
I
more
do think that you don't think you'd ever say that as town.
Yeah, I think that makes you Mafia for saying that.
Also, you guys, the thing you said about me was like.
Yeah, so I don't know what to believe. I kind of agree with Joey's mind, like his thought process so far. I think the people that have been, I'm not like fluid on this, but I think I want to lynch a voter today. I think I want to kill something like. I think I want to kill Guy. I don't have a great reason to kill Guy, but if Guy is town, then I want to kill Duke.
My two lynches.
I think Guy's a great like
my two lynches are probably like Pat and Guy for today.
Who Joey?
Pat and Guy.
So
who else outside of
Can I actually just hear from Guy? Like, I want to hear where he's at.
Yeah, I think this. I actually think that if Scottish Ryan is town, then that makes it like very, very likely that Siggy Wiggy is Mafia, because it's more likely that like
I no voted
Mafia didn't put their hands up for their partner, and then they decided to lynch the town who voted on him.
Okay,
yeah, you're an idiot. Mafia has no reason to vote, and then I have all the reason to vote because he's telling me to vote on him.
Shut up, everyone! Shut up, Guy. I have a question for you. It's really important. Who of Joey 5, Jan, and Poe, the people who didn't vote on Siggy but did vote on Ryan, are most likely Mafia in that view?
Exactly.
Probably 5, in my opinion. I think
Anyone
the
else?
rest are fairly town. I think Pope could be I think Pope could be Mafia. I don't have a strong town read on him, but I don't like heavily suspect him.
I know we are not best friends, Guy, but you are allowed to say my name. Just say.
If you're gonna lynch a voter today, what is the highest possibility of hitting Mafia?
I think 5 has high Mafia equity.
Yeah, I think 5. I think 5 and Siggy could very easily be partners.
How so?
Okay, well, I'm right or die.
Well, because there were formals going out on both of them when one of them got seconded.
I don't know how I feel about that.
They, 5 no voted on Siggy and then voted on Ryan.
Who tried to second 5? Who tried to second 5?
It was Kron and Duke.
3 or 4 people.
Who formaled 5?
Jan formaled.
Jan.
So, yeah, I think that if Scottish Ryan is
has a
down,
stamp
that
check with
makes
me in
it
it.
more likely
That was like pre-end of day though. I don't read into that.
I would be more inclined to think that maybe just Scottish Ryan was Mafia.
Oh, it's so close.
You know,
It feels like it though. It feels like it.
It feels like it could so easily
I
be
feel like
either
probably
one.
was.
I don't think so.
His formal was the type
probably
of
not
formal where
Mafia at
maybe
this
a town
point,
feels
but-
like voting on
I
him.
think
because
we
I
need to
really
figure
do
out
think
Duke's
Scottish-
alignment, and that would be really helpful.
What
Scottish
Mafia
Ryan-
mindset
I
after
don't know.
KP?
I only voted for Scottish Ryan because
But do you want to claim
I
Vici?
think that she was super
I am not
talented.
the
not
Vici.
voters.
Whenever she gave her
It was
read
worth
It
it.
is
today.
clearly
For that very
I
reason,
think-
John, to make them look
I
make
can't
them
talk
look
about
better.
it.
Like, oh, a no voter died. Well, we're all no voters,
I
so
think
we look
the way
townier
Siggy
now.
Yeah,
has-
but
For
I'm
all we
down
know-
now.
Guys, shut up, Jesus.
I think Siggy Wiggy normally is like very good at evaluating me, and the fact that he's tunneling on this Mafia read on me for a read that I gave on Kron that he doesn't even like.
I've called 2 other people Mafia besides
That's
you
fine,
today.
but like every time my name gets brought up, you're like, yeah, that's a good one. I'm conflicted on Guy. Guy got like aggravated at my read on Joey for making the thing, and I think that that's more like town guy getting pissed that another town is just like fucking, or you know, because he. Town guy getting mad at another player in the game for giving shitty reads to someone who could potentially be Mafia, right? Like, he really cares about the competitiveness of the game, so when stupid reads like that start thrown out, I could see him getting mad. Pope's evaluation that there's between me and Guy puts me in a weird spot because I think if I'm leaning Guy's town and I know that I'm town, I'm pushing to town as Mafia. 5, I would lynch, and I'm reading Ryu town because when he started to give that read and I said the thing about if I finish your read, I was literally just writing down that read so that I could bring it up later, which is why I wanted to see.
What's your best read, Duke? What's your best read?
Best read would be Guy.
Guy town.
That guy
That's
is
your most common read in this whole game. Wow.
Yes.
That's weird.
That's aggressive.
You think Brian was a hit?
Even I think that's pretty strange.
Do I say Guy?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine, right? 'Cause,
I'm the same way that everyone whoever said was 50-50.
I'm not
like,
going to change my fucking reads because people.
I don't like.
at
I
some
don't like.
point, I'll get good at reading the game.
I don't know. I kind of like the way you're questioning me about it. It makes me think he was probably.
I
If
don't
he's
know,
a
but
hit,
like-
if he's a hit, it's a bust anyway.
But like you think
the reason why I think
Duke
Ryuzilla
Mafia
is
think
town
I'm
is to
kind
get
of Mafia.
right.
We don't vote on Ryan.
What, Kron? Are you talking to Siggy right now?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Duke's still
Go
trying
ahead,
to talk.
Duke. Yeah,
Jesus
let Duke talk.
Christ.
He's town, dude. Why are we talking to him?
good.
I
I
think
had
he's very
like 3
town.
Look, we need to find out his alignment.
Because no one else thinks he's town, you fucking moron. All right.
Oh, all right.
Am I muted? Like,
I don't necessarily think Duke is super scummy.
I think we need to be solving Siggy's alignment more than.
don't think he's strongly town either, so-
Siggy 5 is where we need to look at.
I'm so ready to
I'm
come
like
out.
fairly
Comes
confident
out now.
that we missed on Siggy. That makes me think that there's more town than Mafia in his vote. If there's
Let's
any
kill
Mafia
Pat.
in his vote,
Yes.
it's probably like Ryan who actually
Pat, I
died.
think-
So I think that we're in a good spot. I think that
I
I'm
Let's
agree.
kill
never
Pat. Let's
lynching
kill Pat.
Fonzie
Let's kill
after
Pat.
day
Let's kill
after
Pat.
day
Let's
one.
kill Pat. Let's kill Pat.
Jan specifically,
I thought
his question on Ryuzilla for me, like really hammered him down for myself. Out of the no voters on Scottish Ryan, Kron's probably the most town.
I will be honest.
I think that Pope has been more town today.
Fonzie, I will be
The
honest.
fact that he couldn't like determine based on my alignment, based on what I said about him, like after I said that thing about him, the way he said about if I die in the night, that
Dude, this is tough.
don't take my reads with a grain of salt.
What do you think of Fonty
Is that
just
tough, Joey?
outing the things like
Yeah,
let's?
because you know your alignment, you fucking
Well,
retard.
that's unfortunate because I think
You're
she's
a question
town.
mark.
All right, well, read me
but
town and
I
just
think
solve the
that-
game
I
then.
think that the vote on Siggy is almost certainly a miss, based on the way that
Fonty, just out
he
your read check
interacted, and
on
then
me.
like specifically after I tried to, I thought that Kron said something about Ryuzilla, and he was actually talking about Ryan.
I'm
But
so
when I was
glad.
giving the read, he basically just like wouldn't even let me
You
give my
might be,
explanation. He's like, "Oh my god, we have to kill Pat. We have to kill Pat. We have to kill Pat." And everybody is
If you
finally
do
trying
have
to
a
jump
green
on
check
board.
on Siggy, I think it would be very good.
I don't have any checks. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Pat, can you explain why you read me town? If you said
I'm
it-
sorry, I can't hear you.
Can you explain why you read me town? If I missed it.
I don't know. I didn't really give a read on you yesterday because I was just I don't know. You read me Mafia for a little bit, and I thought that was less good. But I think that today I read you like coming out on Siggy like that, and like you said that he thought he was town, or thought Guy was town, but not Siggy. I don't know. It wasn't a great read. It wasn't
I'm
a
kind
great
of
read.
like, can we
wasn't a great
someone
read.
else hasn't spoken. I mean, I haven't spoken a lot. So,
Hey, Pat.
Let's hear from 5, yeah.
Okay.
okay, well, I could say this. I keep saying this. I say Fonty, Ryu less now because he hasn't spoken all day.
Are you town or your
Siggy,
Mafia?
Jan, and Duke are town. I'm ride or die with Siggy. And
Why am I still in your
Ride or
team?
die with Siggy.
Yes. I don't think he plays like this as Mafia whatsoever. He started the game literally saying, "Oh wow, those night kills are weird. I don't know why people make those. Like I usually have a hard time reading those people."
He makes comments about night kills as Mafia all the time.
Yes, but there's a difference between just making comments and like actually thinking about what the comments are. I don't think he says that as Mafia or kills those people.
Can you laundry list the rest of your reads?
I think Pat's Mafia. I think Fonty, Siggy, Jan, Duke, Ryuzilla are town. I think you are more town than not for formuling Ryan.
Pat
I'd probably kill like
a team of like
a
team of like Pat, Scry, and Duke makes decent sense.
I'd
Yeah,
say
no, fuck that. Let's kill.
I kind of like what Duke said.
Yeah, I mean, I think
really
that's a
like-
lot of sex. I think that
everybody
Duke's probably
jumping
down.
on me is ridiculous.
I also
I think Kron, Pat, Scry
Kron's
makes
like
a lot more
the
sense
way
than
Kron
Duke.
like attacked me about me thinking
I
Ryan
kinda
was a
think-
miss was
I
like
kinda
real
think
good.
Kron is
I read that
I
super
don't think
towny.
Kron is Mafia, yeah.
Dude, I think
Why
you might
Fonty?
be muted.
I feel like the way he went after Joey was actually kind of like his town meta. He genuinely believes what he's doing, and the way he came out was like, I don't know. Like I wouldn't clear him off of it. I just don't
The
really
only,
want to.
like, I would.
That's fine. Let's just.
I have a
bring it on.
reason
I
to
want the
think he
formal,
might be
please.
town, and that's
Fonty
only
Duke formaled Pat.
when Joey.
Second Pat.
Thank you.
I was talking with Jan.
I think that everything you've done day one felt like you were trying really hard to be town red. That's why I read you as Mafia, and I think that like when I asked you for my read on you, you got like this deer in headlights look. And
It wasn't
This is an
like I said.
accusation. This is an accusation. And I felt like the way that you like responded was very like, oh shit, how do I explain this read? And then
You're
saying like, oh, I had a town read because when you town read me, it was when someone was calling me scum, and it was like, it wasn't like a this is a slight town read. It was Duke is town. So I don't think
Duke. It was more process of elimination. Yes, I was trying to think about why I could call you town, but it was more of like I already had a reason to call you town, but I was trying to like figure out a way that I could convey it to everybody else. So if that makes me seem scummy, I apologize for doing
Pat,
that.
why did you make it?
What I'm saying is that I really do think that the way that you come out and defend Guy, who I think he doesn't really deserve to be #1 town in anybody's book at this point, was also very town. I try to give my reads a little bit ago. I still think Fonty's my top town, even though she's the one that seconded me and says that she's a Mafia. I really still like Jan based on the way he went out on Ryuzilla.
How does me hard defending someone who you don't think is town is like towny?
No, I'm not saying that Guy's Mafia. I'm just thinking that he should never be in anybody's 100% top town at this point because he hasn't done anything to do that. In my
should be in everybody's 100% top town.
No, I don't think that. I think that that's very true.
Every
at all.
game.
I think that Kron coming out against stop. Kron coming out against Joey day one seemed super town to me, and I didn't like Joey's initial reaction to it. The fact that Joey is now coming after me, I've never seen Joey incorrectly read me. So the fact that he's reading me Mafia is more Mafia indicative for Joey. I thought he was Mafia day one. Based on the way he was playing, he didn't really contribute anything to town day one.
When did you say anything?
I did say that. I think that Siggy was not very comfortable in his formal. I didn't like the fact that he gave no opinion on Fonty, who seconded him. When I asked him specifically, "What are your thoughts on Fonty?" he basically just shoved his hand at me and didn't care about my question. Who the person that was going after him and the person that I was watching? That's not what you said.
He did say that. I can confirm it.
Whatever. You definitely shoved it off and didn't really give it a real answer. Since yesterday, I said that thing about Pope. I still believe that Pope doesn't need to say that as his town. If he did say it as town, sorry for him making him think that I'm not town for it. There's nothing really since today. I think he's been more town, but other than that, I really liked where his reads were day one, and I thought that I was only saying that I didn't like what he said as that if he's town.
I think this has been a pretty good formal.
I think that 5 also coming after me. Everybody's come after me today. Like everybody's called me Mafia. I'm like basically low hanging fruit at this point. So I don't really know who else to really call town. I mean, I've given my reads. I've given basically on everybody in the Zoom. I think that there's almost certainly it was a miss on Siggy Wiggy, and makes me think that if I'm wrong on somebody,
You're not gonna evaluate this game correctly until you start reading me town, Pat. I think.
Can I do a quick question really fast?
Sure, go ahead.
Ryuzilla, why did you tell me that there was a formal on Pat instead of seconding yourself?
Because you said his name over and over and over, and I thought it was weird that you didn't.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. I still think that if I'm wrong, so I have to be. I'm most likely wrong based on just how Scottish Ryan was in his formal. I thought I voted on Scottish Ryan because of the way he read font. He like read font, didn't like basically had me and Fonty, and I think that Fonty was like in everybody's town circle. Basically, I didn't think that anybody called her Mafia at that point. In that day, if somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody had read Fonty Mafia at that point. And I don't think she had a reason to be read Mafia by anybody. So the fact that he was reading her Mafia is why I voted on him.
Why? Why does that make him Mafia?
I just don't think that he had a reason. He had no specific reason to call. He said that in his formal, he thought that it would be either me or you who he would want to go to if he lived through that formal. And I don't think that anybody and he couldn't give a reason specifically, and I don't think anybody could give a reason why. And the fact that
But if he doesn't have like a strong reason to town read,
well, that's fine. But I mean, I understand that. But I don't know. It was basically that was the nail in the coffin for me. I didn't like his formal at that point. He also did that thing with me earlier in the day where he was like trying to like pull out some bad logic potentially on like what I was saying, where I misunderstood what was being said due to the chaos. I'm town here, guys. I think that if you guys like actually do determine that I'm correctly town, we should go on Siggy or 5, or like Joey 3rd.
Pat, 10 seconds.
I'm town. If you lynch me, I don't think we're in the worst shape in the world. I do think we hit on Scottish Ryan. I do think that there's 1 KP. But if we go 5 Siggy, I think we'll be good.
If you would like to vote on Pat, please raise your hand with the camera and leave it there. In 3, 2, 1, vote.
Ooh. Oh
yeah. Pat has died. Please go to Slates and Midnight Actions. Those who are dead can be entertaining, if they so wish.
Not sure if you saw or not, right? But I think Twitch is back up. Fair enough.
Right, should be all set to go. Thank you guys for your patience. You can all wake up. Looking for 10. Or 11, actually. No, 10. 10 is the correct number I'm looking for. You guys will have 18 minutes for today.
Safe?
Over.
Hold on 1 sec. I'm getting the time. There we go. Right, 18 minutes in the night. Kron, you die, Davigan.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so Ryuzilla's down.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's the only one that knew 100% there was only one KP.
Who no voted yesterday?
Keep finding, give your checks in order.
Does that feel spooky, guy?
That's right.
Monty, just give your checks
You
in
knew
order.
there
Dude, I'm not the cop.
You knew there was only one KP.
Here's the cop. Had a check.
Or the mod didn't say anything, and I thought there was a save.
I'll be honest.
He didn't start the day.
I think
timer.
Dude,
I
that
thought
sounded like a no KP.
That's not how Ryuzilla reacts when there's zero KP when he's Mafia. He doesn't have the energy to be happy about it.
I think
Come on.
Guy's reaction was the worst for what it's worth off all that.
I agree.
Because I'm not a retard.
He
and
just
I know
stood
that
there
the day doesn't
dumbstruck,
start.
and then Ryuzilla was
Because I know
smiling,
that the
other
day
people
doesn't
were
start till the
smiling,
clock starts the
laughing.
timer.
Who no
Like, I'm not
voted?
retarded.
Who no voted?
I mean, Dukes wasn't great.
Who no voted?
Who no voted? Oh
I
God,
know-
Kron! Kron was a no voter.
Kron no voted everything.
Kron and Jan?
Kron has not voted once, right?
Yeah, and Jan.
Yo, Fonty and Siggy were both no voters as well.
They were?
Sort of, yeah.
Their votes did not matter.
Yeah.
Did not matter.
I thought I was hammering, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, why?
My vote, I was like, I thought he was kind of towny, but like he just would not reevaluate on me after like.
I will be honest. I thought on
don't like that.
I thought
Okay.
the same check.
So you evaluated that after everybody else voted, Siggy?
I
You
literally was
didn't
not
evaluate
even.
that-
Okay,
you didn't
go
evaluate
back.
that during his
if you
format?
have it saved, I was not even looking up. I was like this, and I was just like, I wasn't even looking at the votes. So you can just take that read that you have,
Pat
guys,
and
like
Siggy
throw
are
them
not
together.
Yeah, but like you waited, like
Who?
it wasn't like you did
Pat
that.
and Siggy are not partners. This thing should be obvious for everyone.
Dude,
So,
like,
I think Pat and
hate
Siggy
Why
are
is
not
that not?
partners.
Wait, why is that not obvious? Tell me.
No, it should be obvious.
Why is that obvious?
Pat wanted Siggy dead if it didn't go on him.
Pat
He
wanted.
voted on Siggy day one.
Pat wanted Siggy dead. Siggy said
What did Pat do? What did Pat do last week? I can't remember.
Bust. He bust.
Did he lynch his teammate day one?
Yeah, he probably
Yes, he
lynched his
did.
teammate day one this game too.
What the fuck? I thought it was
agree, guy.
terrible.
But that makes his most likely.
I think
partner
actually
not
Siggy's
Siggy.
probably the best lynch for today. Even though
Shut up, Joey.
You're definitely the best lynch for
I
today.
mean,
I don't think
It's like-
Siggy
Do
and
you
Scotty.
think I'm Mafia,
Siggy?
Joey? Do you
It's
actually
like
think I'm
you're a
Mafia?
guy.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
give a shit. Like listen, at this point,
okay, well,
clearly,
give a shit of your town because you're gonna lose
because
because we
listen,
keep
at this
killing
point, we
towns
clearly
again.
reduced KP. I just need to start eliminating question marks and then
Yeah, but
continue
like
on the
we
game.
can.
Let's
So how
kill.
am I-
We have for sure at
That's
least.
how town loses games.
No,
Joey.
that's how bad town loses games.
Joey,
We
Joey,
don't lose games.
No.
We don't.
I
We
guarantee
have
this is a
two
bad town if you
mislynches.
keep
I
playing
want to
that
start
way.
killing off
Hope
question
you
marks
okay?
before I have to start
Yeah,
evaluating.
but Joey,
I think we should start with Guy.
like
Guys
Joey.
also a good lynch. Guys also a
How
good
am I
lynch.
a question mark? I voted on both of the lynches. You
That's
retard.
also a good. That's a good.
I mean, that's
answer, too.
accurate, but like.
It's
That's
accurate.
accurate, but like I'm
Vote
thinking
logic,
people's
I'm
logical
starting to
thoughts, so
learn-
I just want
okay.
to lynch you
In
anyway.
the current Mafia meta, vote logic doesn't matter. Like people bust all the time. Mafia
That's-
no vote on towns.
No,
Like, you
I-
just can't
that's-
until it's
that's-
Milo. Don't look at vote
I
logic.
mean-
Says the
early.
guy who didn't
I've
vote.
learned this. I've learned this after
Okay,
like 3
whatever,
or 4
whatever,
like
whatever.
of my past games that town has just lost because of vote logic early on in the game.
Okay,
Also, I want to hear from Pope. Pope's been nowhere this entire game. And it's very bad.
I
Hello,
agree.
hello,
Because in
hello.
Pope's Mafia,
But I also
it's very
don't like
bad.
how Joey's like. I don't know, Joey.
I actually
don't
really
like your
dig
play.
it.
All of a sudden, 2-1 KP
Okay.
nights. I'm trying to take control of the game.
No, okay,
Exactly,
okay,
exactly.
Okay, Joey, can I talk to Joey about Siggy for a second? Joey, if you want to kill Siggy here, the two people we killed so far voted on Siggy day one. The one downside is he didn't vote day one on.
I already said I don't care about Pat.
Oh no, yeah, but both Pat and Ryan voted on
Pat's
Siggy.
vote on Siggy doesn't matter.
Yeah,
'cause
but
he clearly-
Ryan did as well.
I agree. Scryans means something, but Pat doesn't mean anything. And because
Yeah,
of that,
no,
it doesn't
okay.
mean
I'm
anything.
fine
Also,
with
Scryan
Pat.
gave like a bullshit read on
Yeah,
me,
but Scryan
too.
can be town. It doesn't matter. Scryan can be town, and it doesn't matter.
Okay.
No, I agree with
I'll
that.
give my stance on the game. I think right now we are. I don't know. I think it's more likely 1 KP. I think that one of those is a hit. I think that I don't want to lynch Fonty, Joey, or Siggy today. And oh gosh,
I think.
I think
So
those
I
are
think
Just
Five. Why are you okay? Five.
For me, the no lynches are Fonty and Ryuzilla.
Just chill out.
Five. At one point. Five.
Everyone, stop talking for just a fucking second. Everyone says I'm a question mark or I'm unknown. Take this time to evaluate me. I don't care about your opinions at this point. I'm giving you my opinions for you to evaluate me. So those are the people I don't want to lynch today. Fonty, Joey, Siggy. I think that Guy is still my biggest, like, I want to lynch, but I don't feel good about his alignment. And I think Duke got way too many town reads for the things he did yesterday.
Mhm.
Also, his Duke, or his formal on Pat came from like a position of power that was like awkward. Like he wasn't in a position to be making formals from my perspective, as he was getting a lot of scum. He was on the chopping block, and then all of a sudden he drops the formal. It's like it's very.
Everyone has the right to make a formal. I don't
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not about who has the right to make a formal. It's your position in the game making the formal. Did he think is he that sure? Did he think he was gonna get enough? I do not think it was like a norm.
I think Duke formaling Pat doesn't matter at all because Pat was high scummed by a lot of people. So if they were scum together, like it's not a.
He would do. I feel like he could have had that attitude because they were scum together. That's why he felt so confident in the formal
Who
itself.
are you leaning towards being the hit?
Win-win situation if that's the case, right?
You know, for my own benefit, I want to say it's Ryan because I formaled Ryan and I think I gave a really good accusation and buried him relatively enough to get him lynched. So I would say I hope that's right, but I think Pat said so many things that were weird.
Can
Number
you
one,
elaborate on why you don't want to lynch Siggy? That's all I really.
why I don't want to lynch Siggy. I think I read him town day one. I think today his interaction with Joey still seemed to be coming from I'm town. If you lynch me, you're wrong. You're in a bad position if you lynch me. It feels very just town. I'll say notoriously I'm wrong on Siggy, so don't think it's like a great read, but I think he is town. I'll give this other read that I think Guy is leaning town, but I still kind of want to lynch him because I don't feel great about it.
I think
literally the only way Pope is Mafia is if we haven't hit yet. I really think he's down. So.
I don't have an opinion on 5 Ryu or Yan all that much.
No way we haven't hit.
5 Ryu, Yan.
5. I want to hear what is the exact moment you started riding or die with me? I felt like
I'm pretty sure if we just
use
our on Yan, Duke, 5, and Pope, we probably
like what reason? Like what did I do?
No, we should just kill Guy.
I was thinking.
I honestly think Siggy has to be a lynch.
The Mafia team, if we haven't hit yet, is like. I'm gonna say it, and it's people are gonna backlash, but it's like Joey Siggy +1.
Yeah, well, yeah. If we haven't hit yet, we fucking lose, dude.
Yeah.
You think Joey starts busting me at the start of today?
Can we talk to Mr. Ryuzilla for a second? Okay, so you basically the day one you were fairly towny. Yesterday, I remember you saying basically one thing. You're like me and Fonty, like let's go ride or die, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else you did yesterday, so please.
Sure, I'll just.
Because my read on you is cringing.
I didn't really do anything yesterday.
You're right, I didn't. All right, so here are my updated reads. Yan, you're actually my strongest town. Reason being that I think that you thought at some point Fonty was the cop and you probably would have night killed her. So I don't know if anybody even caught that interaction, but Yan, you're my strongest.
No, Siggy caught it.
I did.
Okay, cool. Yan, you're my strongest town. I do kind of want to stick up for somebody today who I think could be a lynch in 5. Sorry, Joe. I kind of want to stick up for 5 based on his interactions yesterday and his town circles yesterday. I don't understand the like okay, Siggy, I'm having a hard time with you, man, and I don't know why. Because I feel like
I don't either. I feel like I've been pretty towny.
Yeah, we've been bros for like past 2 weeks or so ish, but like this I don't understand it. Okay, so I'll talk about a couple other people. Pope and Guy and Joey, all 3 of you guys, compared to how you normally feel much less of a factor now than you do in this game. And I don't know if it's because we're not live on Twitch or you just whatever.
I want to make an excuse, but for me it's because I had my fire last night.
All 3 of you guys feel like way more like less than you normally are.
Dude, I'm fucking passing
of those people, I think Guy is the scummiest. I know that Guy's been saying, he voted on. I think me and Guy probably have the exact same voting pattern. This is not based on votes. This is just based on demeanor.
You both voted on everyone, right?
I would say exact same voting patterns. You mean vote on
I don't know if you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys will think this is great, but I mean, I personally can't see any world where we haven't reduced KP. I don't think I'm gonna make it to Final 5, but I think the healthiest Final 5 will be without Siggy and Guy. That's just my opinion.
I kind of agree with that.
It doesn't really. I'm not like hard. Obviously they're my scummier, right? They're my scummier of all the town. I have like other scummy reads, but I think it's like the healthiest Final 5 without Siggy and without Guy. That's my opinion. I think that makes it easiest for town.
What does that mean?
It's just like a cop out to not read me because I can be Townie and then they'll just be like, oh look.
I have 2 throwaway lynches before I.
How many Mafia so far?
I still don't really understand like how you.
Joey, do you think we've hit 2 or 1
now, Joey? But it's fine.
You're just like you voted well, Guy, but you haven't done anything for me to read you town. I think that's fair.
I don't. If I killed Mafia, then what am I doing?
I don't. Well, like maybe, but like also maybe you voted on something that you thought Ryan was gonna pass by 1,000%, and you voted like.
My brain says Guy, but my heart says not Guy.
Yeah, exactly. But that's fine. I'm just trying to get to Final 5.
I mean, I can explain why I voted on Ryan. I looked at the vote on Siggy, and I thought that a lot of the no voters were town. So I looked at the voters, and I thought that out of the voters, I thought Ryan and Fonty were townie. So I was willing to lynch Duke, Ryan, or Pat that day. Ryan actually wouldn't have been my first choice that day. I would have preferred Pat on day 1, and I did like call out Pat multiple times on day 1 and accuse him. And there was that interaction where he was like, "I am town this game," and I said, "I just don't believe you, Pat." So Pat actually would have been my top choice, but I just figured that since Fonty and Ryan were town, has
my no voters that have died? Has anyone who voted on me died?
No. Well, only no voters on you.
Not in the night.
Exactly.
We've lynched voters.
That doesn't mean exactly.
That doesn't mean anything, Siggy.
It doesn't mean
anything.
It actually means that if we lynch you, we almost guarantee that KP's been reduced.
I'll say this: the past like 2 weeks or so, I've been making reads like that. Like several Mafia had to have voted on this guy, and I've been clearing them for that, and that's been the Mafia for the
I will also say this: I think that independently, Joey's been very towny this game, but I know that Joey thinks double stacking is super good. So, like, if we have been wrong this whole game, Joey is like the only person who would be double stacking.
I think Joey was like not very towny before today.
But I think he's been towny. I wouldn't lynch him. I honestly, like I said, I think like right now, my town would be like Fonty, Joey, Siggy, Ryu, and then I think like if you just lynch Duke, 5, Jan, and Pope, then town looks good.
I suck this game. I don't know who my.
It'd be super helpful if like
Duke's dying today. Duke is like not interacting with anyone. People are trying to solve the game.
Jan, where are you at?
And he's just sitting there with a blank expression on his face.
Joey, Guy, and I think we win.
Duke,
Jan, where you at?
I like Ryu. I like you.
Why'd you flip on me,
I like Guy's reads. I don't agree with the Joey read, but for the most part, I agree with this. I'm conflicted about Siggy. I think the vote logic is
How is it possible that nobody wants to kill Siggy, even though like I didn't?
Because I'm just that tiny, Joey.
Voter and I want to kill him.
I think the vote.
I didn't even vote on Siggy day 1.
Yes, several times, but like because of other things, I think like.
Who voted on Siggy that's alive? Guy.
I can understand it. I would.
Pat voted on him.
Fonty, Ryu, Duke.
All the people except the 2 people we killed during the day.
Okay, well, I don't give a shit.
I mean, I do think that like Siggy must never lose.
So I think this is like I think you're I don't want to. Okay, I feel I'm very likely to die very soon. I think you're the most likely that you are Mafia to win all the way to Final 3. So I don't want you to be in here. I think you'll always be a question mark. You'll never be town. You can easily be Mafia with Pope. There's so many good reasons.
You already know you have 4 no voters, right, Joey?
I don't really care. I mean, change your mind. I'm trying to not lose you the game. I'm not going to be there to tell you who the Mafia are.
It's like ridiculous to me, dude. Like, I hate these games because I feel like there's multiple towns. Just listen, I hate these games. I feel like this like might be the second week in a row where I just like project towniness and people are just still want to kill me for dumb reasons, okay? I think the fact that Duke's second this makes him more scummy. Like, he's just like jumping off the window scum to me. He said nothing actually all game. That laugh just now was super awkward too.
What happened to the
everything he's saying is bad. Yes. Okay, Duke, I stopped pushing on you day 2 because I thought I was wrong because I didn't vote on Scryan. I think Ryuzilla is like very likely town. I think yeah, he didn't do anything yesterday, but his day 1 was just like pretty good for me. It was enough for me to kill him. I think that Jan, I think that Jan is probably just still town, but I still don't think that he's.
Okay, never mind.
Ooh.
The reason why I'm defending.
What are you saying?
I rescind.
I fucking saved Pope Night 0.
Don't say your last. Don't say your last name. Don't say last name.
I'm not fucking retarded.
Okay.
I saved Pope Night 0 because Pope and Joey always die. I saved Guy Night 1 because.
Guy?
Who?
Guy.
Okay.
And
That's
then
Guy didn't die though.
I'm a confirmed green check.
No, you're not.
I voted on Ryan.
On the guy who
You're
died.
the opposite,
And
though.
I voted on Ryan.
Okay, guy,
Yeah.
stop trying to clear yourself for that. Like,
No.
I either reduced KP or I got saved.
That is true. It doesn't make you a green
oh,
chip,
you
but
got
it's true.
saved.
Okay,
So-
Siggy's.
I think.
I don't want to be
I
wrong.
don't think, okay, I still
No.
don't think it's impossible because
No.
it's still
Okay,
not
we're
impossible
definitely
that
killing
you could have
Siggy
just
now.
bust.
Now it's
right?
100% Siggy.
yeah.
Can I ask
Okay,
one question? One real quick
Okay, sorry,
question.
Who did you
You're
save? Who
fucking
did you
dumb,
save
Joey.
after Guy? Who did you
You're
save
literally
after
just
Guy?
No,
dumb.
don't say that.
Like,
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
All right, Joey,
Shut up.
I have one question. So,
Yeah.
day one, you also felt like this about Siggy, but you didn't vote. My only question is, why
Right.
didn't you vote on day one?
I didn't vote on Siggy just during
Wait
his
a second,
formal.
what the
I think
fuck
he
was
was
I
giving.
saying why Siggy
First off, he was like the first formal, so
Wait a second,
I'm like
stop.
trying
I
to tend
always
not to
say why
formal.
Siggy.
I mean vote because I want to see more than one vote.
No, you don't.
But he
you
also
don't
did say a
you
couple
saved
things that I
last
thought were
night.
towny in his formal. I can't
If
remember
they
the exact
reduce
ones
KP, it
though.
doesn't matter.
Anyways, I formal Siggy.
Like what? No. What?
No,
It
exactly.
doesn't matter. Like with
We just
Duke not
stopped.
out in his safe. What's the
No, don't out his save.
No, what's the upside?
What's
If
the
he's-
In case he,
if
in case
if
there's
he-
some,
There's no reason
there
out
is a
your
miracle
save,
world. There is a miracle world where
They don't kill
Guy.
you.
No,
There's
because
a world-
only world-
there's
the
a
only-
because
okay,
no,
the
because
only
like
world-
it might have
Yeah,
gone
that's
it
not
might have
world,
gone
huh?
save. It might have gone save double stack, so
Okay,
they don't
that's
know who
the-
his save
That's
is.
the one word. Yeah. Okay.
And even if he
Yeah.
does out a save, we don't know anything about it. Anyways, I reformal Siggy. You're 100% the right Lynch
I
now.
second Siggy.
Formal done, Siggy.
I believe Duke. I think Duke is real. I don't think anyone doubts him, but I'm still gonna say it. I think he's real. I think that
Still think
Joey
you
is.
should say your save for what it's worth.
Explains
I
the
don't.
position of
I
power that
don't
he had
care.
when he was making.
Yeah,
I
it
think
does.
I think that.
I think it's not terrible to say it, but it's. I don't think
Fuck,
it's
that
worth
makes
it.
this game a lot harder, and I
Ryuzilla
don't know
was
where
my
I
save
want to
last
read and what I want to do. I think like.
Why? All right, whatever.
Let me think about it. Okay, I think that makes 5 probably Mafia. Like, and I don't feel good about it, but I feel like when he said he was trying to ride or die with me, he's trying to pocket me because I think my play on All Stars recently has been like very omgusy and like I just kind of talented people. So I was trying to like not do that this game after watching my
Okay,
VODs.
so yeah,
It's the reason that I wanted to like really evaluate Pope when he was like talenting me because I think he might have picked up on it too. I felt like 5 picked up on that, and that's why he's saying he's like ride or
So,
die
Siggy,
with
I
me and
haven't
all the
played the
reasons I
past 3
thought I was
weeks in All
down.
Stars.
And I what?
I haven't played
I-
the past 3 weeks in All
Sure,
Stars.
fine, whatever. I think I do it in general on all games, so just maybe just like comment on that. And I thought that's why I was evaluating you, and I thought that you were Mafia. And it's like, I think that your reason for towering me makes the least sense too, is because of what I said day one about the night kills, and I agree with everyone who said that that was all bullshit. Because I do say things like that. I kind of want to too. I think that his. I've changed my mind now that I know that Duke is town. It really like. It sets like a new presence for me. I think that makes Ryuzilla more Mafia because there has to be more Mafia. Not making too many people town. I think that like I think like I'm the people I'm ride or die with are Fonty and Jan, and I like it's like those are the 2 people I think that are just like insanely towny. I think are just never Mafia. Everyone else I could see me getting to a point where I'm flipping on them, but like I liked guys today. Like when he and I interacted in the beginning of the day, that felt like the past couple of times we've done it and it was been town on town. I think like. Joey is probably town and just a dumbass and probably going to lose this game eventually, like, because he plays the way where he just, like, lynches people who are obvious town in their formals and, like, doesn't even want to, like, read the game. And it's just very frustrating if he's town to play with. Like, it's the way town's lost, like, the past couple of games that I was in.
I feel like I don't know who you want to lynch.
Because I don't really know who I want to lynch either. I want to kill, like, 5 or Ryuzilla probably today. And I think, like, Jan and Fonty are the most town people to me today. But, like, there's, like, 3 people. All the circle, I agree with whoever... See, Ryuzilla's brought up like some great points because I think the trio of Joey, Guy, and Pope probably has like one Mafia in there, but I have like no idea who it is. I think like
something's problematic, right? Like there's something wrong
something
here
weird's going on.
With the
I think
Pope's playing medic on Guy, but Guy either.
I liked Guy's interactions with me, but I just want to say I hate how Guy keeps trying to clear himself for his vote lodges because day one busting happens like a lot lately.
That's because
he's
Duke's
reaction.
I think Pope's like probably the
and
most.
Sticky didn't even vote on Scryan.
No, I didn't. Okay, Joey, shut up. I have reasons for it.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
He told me like he talked to me and he said, Siggy, we should just start voting on each other. Which why would he as Mafia tell me to start just voting on him? A guy who gets mislynched a lot anyways, and I'm one of the few people that calls him town most of the time. That's when he said that, I read him as super town for it, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna vote on him then. And that's like when I saw all those votes, I was like, what the fuck just happened, dude? He's either town got mislynched or all his Mafia partners bust because they know he's a sinking ship on All Stars. Because I thought that formal was not awful. He gave some pretty okay points in it as far as Scryan formals go. And it's like, it's dumb. Like, don't mislynch me here, guys. Like, it's fucking annoying because it gets to day 3.
You also said Pat's formal was pretty good and then voted on it.
I did. I thought his formal was pretty good. I told him to, like, multiple times to reevaluate on me, and then he just kept calling me Mafia, and it was annoying as shit. I was like, trying really hard to like not vote there. I thought I think it's probably Town. I think it was a miss for the Woodsworth still. I think Shrine was the hit and it's Worldly too. That's like, yeah, it's really annoying. Like, don't vote on me. Realize I'm Town. I've given like another fire formal in like day 3, and you fuckers are still probably gonna vote just because like, oh, we're not losing the game here. Oh, and it's really frustrating. Read me Town, don't vote. Do you have any other questions I can answer in my 10 seconds? I will answer it. Joey, what is your question? Oh, you're just pushing.
Alexander almost 10 seconds.
Don't vote here. Realize I'm Town. Please don't mislynch me again.
If you would like to vote on Siggy Wiggy, please raise your hand to the camera and leave it there in 3, 2, 1. Vote.
Oh, it was dead anyway.
That is enough. Siggy Wiggy has died.
It's over. You guys lost.
Yeah, the game is over. Mafia has won.
We won. It's over.
Even if
we're killing Duke Ryu.
Yeah, they killed Duke Ryu, so
yeah.
Your Mafia team this game is Joey, Jan, and 5. Your cop this game was Scottish Ryan. He had a net 0 check on
Claim, dude!
Duke.
Claim!
Your medic this game was Duke, net 0 on Pope, then got saves on Guy and Ryu, net 1 and 2.
Oh, God.
And then your vigilante this game was Rolo, who died net 0.
Like, what kind of form do I have to give to not get votes? Oh.
Look,
I didn't vote.
It was
you just have to be on my team.
It wasn't you at all. It's a fucking trash formal for every player in the game.
Siggy, you had only Town voting on you day 1, and we lynched 2 of them. Likely with you.
Wait, hold on, Joey. Did you not think
dying to make the game?